Hey y'all, it's Jody May. Welcome back for another week of What's for Dinner with some easy meal ideas. Let me know what you think in the comments below about these meals, and as always, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you don't miss any future videos, and you can become part of our little YouTube family. Have a great day. Now let's get to cooking. You guys, last week I was sick for a few days, so I had to kind of take it easy on getting my appetite back. So this here was a definite home run for that. I started off with some hash browns. I went ahead and fried them up. They didn't get as toasty as I normally would, but I didn't want them to be really crunchy. Then I went ahead and fried up some sausage links. And then I went ahead and got them a little overdone for the hubby. And then mine and TJ's were still kind of browned, but not overcooked. And then I just fried up some eggs. And we had some toast on the side. This here was a super easy homemade hamburger helper with some fried corn. Now for this dinner, I went ahead and browned up about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. And I didn't have it completely unthawed, so it did take a minute to kind of get it all smashed and separated. But I went ahead and got that onto brown, and then I just went ahead and added in 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, some steakhouse seasoning. I added about 1 tablespoon of steakhouse seasoning, and then I went ahead and cut up 1/2 pack of bacon. I will tell you, this was the first time I've ever cooked it like that. And there is one thing I would do differently, and that would be to cook the bacon first or separately. That way it's more crunchy because we like our bacon rather crisp. Now once I had the bacon and the hamburger pretty much done, I went ahead and started on my fried corn. So for that, I went ahead and added 2.5 tablespoons of butter. I started melting that down into the pan first, that way the corn didn't stick, and then I added in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and then a little bit of steakhouse seasoning. Now for the fried corn, I do let that sit there and simmer in the butter for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I let it start browning up. Now once the hamburger and the bacon was pretty much done, I went ahead and got my water on to boil for the noodles. Now I didn't want to cook the noodles in the hamburger mixture just because I don't like my noodles mushy and I do not like them undercooked. So I know if I cook them separately, I'm not going to fail at the whole meal. Just in case the noodles don't come out right, I can always start over. But here I just go ahead and I'm slowly simmering the corn just to kind of get it a little bit of a browned look. Now here, once the noodles were completely done, I did go ahead and drain them, and then I add them into the hamburger and the bacon mixture. I added in about 1/2 cup of milk, both packages of the cheese, and then you guys are going to see I put a little bit of a twist to this. I do actually add about, I think, 4 or 5 slices of this Monterey Jack cheese, and I go ahead and cover it up and let it melt down. You guys, that really changed the flavor of that more than I think anything I've ever done to my homemade hamburger helper. And this is a definite must try if anything. You guys, we do love cheese, but this Monterey Jack, it really turned out good in this meal and it changed the flavor dramatically. It was really good, and I hope you guys try it. Now for this dinner, we just had meatloaf, green beans, and mashed potatoes on the side. Now I do like changing some of my recipes up because I don't like the same old thing all the time. So for this dinner, I went ahead and added 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon or 1.5 teaspoons of steak sauce, and then to that I went ahead and added in 2 eggs, and that there was about 1.5 cups of the croutons, and then of course the seasonings. Now I did go ahead and smash that down really good, mixed it up should I say, really good, and then here I'm just putting ketchup on the bottom of the pan so the meatloaf does not stick. I don't want to spray it down with oil just because I don't want my meatloaf to be over oily or anything like that, and it actually works better and the flavor is even better when you use the ketchup on the bottom. So I just went ahead and made a loaf out of it and got it into the oven at 350 degrees for about an hour, hour and a half. Now here I went ahead and added in 1 tablespoon of bacon grease, 2 cans of green beans, salt and pepper to taste, and then I went ahead and put them into the microwave for about 5 minutes. Now once the hamburger was, or the meatloaf was just about done, about 10 minutes left to go, I went ahead and cut it open just to make sure that it was cooked completely through, and then I went ahead and smeared the top with some ketchup. I did want to keep it pretty simple for that. Now with these potatoes, I did go ahead and just use the last package of them potatoes that I didn't care too much for, so I figured I would try to spice them up a little bit. And for the instant potatoes that I used, I went ahead and put in about 3 tablespoons of milk, about a half a teaspoon of pepper, a half a teaspoon of salt, and then probably 2 tablespoons or so of cream cheese. I went ahead and mixed that up really well. They did turn out okay. I do gotta admit that. They did turn out okay, but they are definitely not my favorite, guys. This dinner was a total hit. For this dinner, we had a simple taco salad. Now don't let that word simple fool you, because this here is a must-have whenever I make taco salad, because this here is the actual recipe that I normally do use. It's all by head. I don't have it written down, but this is the normal way that I make it. For this, I went ahead and started off with 1 pound of ground beef. I went ahead and got that on to start cooking down. Then I went ahead and chopped up cut up, pulled apart, whatever you want to call it, 1 head of lettuce. I just shredded it up into small bite-sized pieces. And I didn't realize until actually now that I didn't even rinse the lettuce or the tomatoes, which is kind of crazy. However, I went ahead and got that lettuce shredded up. I started off with 2 tomatoes. I went ahead and chopped them up into small pieces, and then I went ahead and rinsed off and diced up 2 green onions. I put them in there as well. There is one mistake that I made in this dinner that I normally do that I didn't in this one, and that is used pepperoni. I forgot to pick it up, and I didn't realize until I was already in the middle of making it that I didn't have any pepperoni. So minus the pepperoni, this is the average normal way that I make our taco salad. Now once I have all that cut up, I did add about probably 1/4 of a cup of salsa, and then I went ahead and mixed that into the salad mixture. Now once that was done, I waited until the hamburger was browned, and then we go ahead and get everything else assembled. Now once the hamburger was completely fried up, I added in 1 pack of taco seasoning and about a half a cup of water. I do normally add a little bit more water just to have it a little more saucy, and I do not drain the grease from the hamburger. Now once I had that going on a low simmer, I did go ahead and heat up a can of refried beans in the microwave. And here I just added in some shredded cheddar cheese all over the top of the salad mixture, and then I put the hamburger on top to where it would start melting down. Now, in order to get your cheese melty, you need to cover the bowl for at least 3 or 4 minutes for all the steam and all the moisture to get down into the salad. But other than that, I just put it into the bowl, crunched up some Doritos. I don't eat the refried beans, but my husband and TJ does. So for me, I just use some Doritos crunched up, some sour cream on the top, and a little bit more salsa. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner with some easy meal ideas, and if so, let me know what you think in the comments below. Once again, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new.